Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Talk Show. I have my co-host, Coach Janine, and I have Dr. Lavella here with me this morning. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for
Yes,
having us.
you're welcome. Dr. Lavella, I will read you a little the bio you sent, and then I will start asking you some questions. Okay. Uh, Dr. Lavella is a globalist entrepreneur and thought leader. Dr. Lavella shifts the cultural mindset to one that understands the infinity besides leading multiple movements. She's a leader of leaders, guiding leaders towards succession. She is the CEO leaders who lead differently, the DNA of cultural innovation, and number one best-selling author. Welcome to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about you have an upcoming event? Let's start with that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach Tina and Coach Janine, for allowing me to be a part of and be active in the movement of Black to Black Talk Show and also magazine. In regards to the event that we're having, it's a business paradise business retreat or a business retreat located in the Bahamas. The theme of it is called the wealth transfer. It is a luxury learning yet event. We will be able to network. There's diverse when I said a background or heavy entrepreneurial background from the standpoint of leaders that will be speaking, as they will yet talk about brand awareness, business strategies, how to set up and or start up. And at the same time, we're also helping business owners that are in the States to help them to set up business in the Bahamas, as for those that are in the Bahamas to help them set up business in the United States. So we are excited as we are literally, again, creating innovation and diversity as we are fusing or infusing skill sets with mindset. So I'm excited about that. It is on November 10th to the 11th. And it's 2 days, 2 impactful days. We invite you to come. You can, of course, register an Eventbrite, or you can also contact me via my website, lavellamcgary.com.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll ask you, Dr. Coach Janine. I said Dr. Janine, Coach Janine. You want to start off?
Well, yeah, I just want to start off just definitely by saying that Dr. Lavella, she's one of the leaders that I really admire so much. I've really participated in so many events that she has put it together, and I've learned so much through her. So definitely her leadership has really impacted me and many, many women. So I'm really saying that you guys don't hesitate. Go ahead, sign up for that business retreat because you won't be the same. She's giving always very good nuggets. So I just want to, really make sure that people really are taking advantage of this opportunity because she's really a true leader who she really gonna hold you accountable and making sure that, you are really clear about the direction that you're taking. So I'm so excited about that. My first question to you, Dr. Lavella, as a CEO who leads, differently, could you share some of the insight in what set apart leaders who embrace a different approach to leadership and what are the DNA of the cultural innovation?
No, thank you so much for that. And I'll start with the DNA of cultural innovation, being that we're in an economy or change or shifting in our economy. This is the best time to shift one's creative and innovative strategies, in a sense that what worked for you years ago might not be working for you now. If it has taken you to a place, it has given you foundation, it has caused you to develop streams of income or even give you 6 figures or 7 figures. But being that the economy is changing and shifting, you as the leader and the entrepreneur, but the economists have to be able to adapt and adjust to the economy. Now, per your creative skill set, when it comes to innovation, how would your business be able to withstand in this economic change and or shift? What about your services? Will it hurt your services, or will you be able to create new packages or adapt to create a package or packages that will be able to still bring in streams of income? And for those that are not there, but they're starting or they're thinking about starting a business, or you're could very well be an educator or in a ministry as well, you still have to adapt to change, to shift, and become pivotal if you win, will change your footing when it comes to adapting or moving gracefully with the economy or the economic system. Why? Because again, though we are changing to adapt in our social media platforms, and now AI is on full throttle, we're again adapting mentally, but now the economic system is affecting us when it comes to our ecosystem or our currency. So you have to make some changes creatively. And now you have to tap into your DNA, your genius, your intelligence, and see what could become out of dormancy and what skill set or download, if you will, brain hack that you've received that you have not tapped or used yet. So now you'll have to go into your vault, if you will, and use tap into that idea. The same idea that you dismiss. I don't know about that. The same strategy that you dismiss. I don't know about that. I guarantee you it will work in this time or season. And in regards to leadership, for those that are leaders, because you need so, or you lead uniquely, you might find that your model or your business model, school model, or organizational model might parallel others, but based on when you look at the foundation that you are doing it a lot different, or you're very unique in the way you are building, implementing, and executing. So with that, we called you draw you forward for you to be able to share what's so unique about your model. What drives you, if you will, how and why. We are asking the whys that really pushed you to be able to create or implement this model for a generation or a community to be able to benefit from it. And thus you'll be able to tap into the mind of a leader.
Okay, thank you. Coach Janine, you have another
Um,
question?
Yes. So, Dr. Lavella, in your opinion, what are some of the major challenges or opportunity that globalization presents to business and to society as a whole? How can you navigate them effectively?
That would be assessing the markets, because what would work for us in the US might not be able to work in overseas or in another country. So when you assess the market, you got to do your demographics. Again, what might work or be that awesome product here in the US might not be able to, but by far or by stretch, education always works. Skill sets to be able to undergird and help them to retool who they are always works. Again, life coaching or business coaching always work. But when it comes to business, learn, study your market, learn and study your niche. And when it comes to pivoting in another culture, another country, and also based on the requirements and business laws, so you'll be able to be most effective in that country.
Okay. Now, shifting the culture mindset and understanding the infinite is a power goal. How do you envision achieving this on a broader scale? And what are the steps that you're taking to get there?
Okay, recalibrating or re-engineering your mind. Always be in a place of learning. And because when you're in a place of learning, you become aware and you become conscious, but more aware to be able to adapt, more aware in the sense of to be able to shift or change your environment, and more adjustable. But once one could easily shift from being not only changing or shifting their mindset to adapt, but remember your mindset is displayed in the model of your business, it's displayed in the model of your magazine or whatever intellectual when I said books or audios, your mindset is displayed, your way of thinking, the way you're wiring. When they tap into it, reading to it, they tap into your intelligence. So what are you saying about the cultural mindset? Could be in a place of learning. Always be ready to read, learn something new, open your mind and be open to learn as you're able to adjust and maneuver through time.
That's great. If you could offer one piece of advice to aspiring entrepreneurs who is looking to make it a global impact, what would be its based on your own experience?
Take risk. Take risk. You'll never know how far you could go, how much pressure you could withstand, and how much you'll be able to bend, maneuver if you don't take risk. In your mind, you know you could do it, but then you allow fear to override the language of which means it projects doubt. But once you take risk, you'll be able to, again, stretch your muscles, stress how or stretch how far you could go, how deep you could go, and you'll be able now to know based on your footing, hey, that works. How would you know if it works or not? How would you know if that plan works, that procedure works, that service works if you don't take risk? The more risk you take is the more you become, and I said, someone said, well, liability. No, the more risk you take, you'll know how you could leverage. You'll tap into the value and the worth of you, of the more risk you take.
Well,
Okay.
so beyond your professional life, what are some of your hobbies, interests that keep you energized and inspire you outside of your entrepreneurship
Oh my gosh.
experience?
I love learning. I love being in the place of learning. I love traveling. But what really gets me is to see one trying and making strides to be able to tap into who they are while we're in a place or environment where they could tell you who you cannot be. So that's the most beautiful thing. So my hobbies would be, oh gosh, I have so many. But I would say traveling and discovering, and most of all, spending time with my family as we discover, as we travel, and also writing books, get lost in writing books, tapping into my imagination. Mhm.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. I want to talk to you about your. I heard you a #1 bestseller author. What, inspired you to write? And can you tell me about your book and any upcoming projects in the pipeline?
Okay, that book was a collaborative effort with Dr. Nakia Davis. It was Boss Moms. So a lot of our moms came together to be able to empower and strengthen moms, whether you're single or married. And that became a #1 bestseller. In regards to the other books, not only do I publish books, I'm also a publisher as well. So with that, love writing books that will raise the level of intelligence, that provokes thought and causes one to, or the light bulb really to go off. They're like, oh my gosh, did I just write that? Or it blows their minds because they're able to tap into their ingenious, but at the same time to see who they are based on their potential of who they are.
Okay. Leading multiple movements must be quite an adventure. Could you tell us about the movement you're particularly passionate about that impacts is making in the world?
Oh, yes. Oh, there are so many, Miss Tina. Presently would be the leaders who lead differently. The leaders who lead differently have allowed me to not only partner, but build relationships and friendship with leaders globally, as we also come together and fuse. Not only are we have friendship, but business partnership to be able to now expand our services globally. So I would say leaders who lead differently would be by far one of my passionate movements.
Okay. So it's beyond your professional. Oh, you already asked that one. I don't want to ask that again. If you could offer one piece, you asked that too, huh? About entrepreneurship. So what your retreat who is that for? Like who should be at your retreat that you haven't come up?
Sure. It's targeted towards women in business, or those that are wanting to start business, or those that are going through transition, and for those that have business, but at the same time they're tapping into new strategies, and they're searching within and aligning themselves as the economy is changing, and so they're looking for a place of hiatus where they could get away just to debunk and have brain hacks. And as they settle themselves to be able to implement new strategies. So along with myself, my partner, and with Dr. Anastasia Lewis, she is based in the Bahamas. And so we are connecting to leaders or speakers here globally. We have Indica Mitchell. She's talking about generational shift. We have, she is in Colorado. We also have Dana Burke. She is in Trinidad. She's a business consultant, and she's speaking about how to build a profitable global business. We also have Kashab, and he's a business consultant. He's talking about the resource restoration and family values while he's building an ecosystem or community back home in the Caribbean as well, so they could be or survive on their own, be a food, shelter, transportation. So he's building a city within the city. And we also have Dr. Anastasia. She will be talking about sit with the winners where the conversation is different. So you have to have your own mindset to be able to bounce off of each other, to be able to be stimulative, to be able to be proactive as we are building and executing and shifting cultural norms.
Okay. Can you tell us how important networking is doing globally, and how collaboration is globally? How important is that?
Oh, it is important. It is breath and ear, because networks, likened to the ones that I'm on the platform with, based on my lack, Coach Janine was able to bring what I didn't have, and thus we're able to strengthen each other through diversity, but we're able to stretch our muscles. So what am I saying? Networking is the air or the breath in the sense of building, merging, meshing, or in diversity, where you're able to instantly be proactive in China. Just by a relationship. Never step foot in China, but you can proactively step foot in China and be fluid, which means your business is existing, is proactive, is effective while you are doing business online. Isn't that something? So
Yes.
that's what network does. That's when it fuels, it energizes, it navigates. It's a guide, it's a light. It helps you to brainstorm, and it pushes you, if you will, to tap into the potential of you. It forged great business relationship as well as bonds.
Yes, because even like now, Coach Janine, I met you through Coach Janine. So yeah, so this networking, this virtual stuff, we can meet people all over. So it's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
So what advice do you have people that's just starting out as an entrepreneur and they're kind of shy or introvert into trying to get into networking groups and networking different people all over the world, not just family and friends? How important it is they to collaborate as well.
Okay, I will say, don't take no for an answer. Don't take no for an answer. I remember, for me, my first magazine, I remember the brain hack on the download to establish my magazine. It was January of 2010, and I didn't know how to do it. And so, what I did was I researched it, of course, the net, but I don't think it was that popular then. But in 2010, I researched it. So I was in every dollar store, Kroger, Walmart, and what I'm doing is buying magazines and flipping through the pages to be able to get an idea of how to formulate this magazine. And my first magazine was done in publisher, if you will. Okay. And so again, what I'm saying is that take risks, don't take no for an answer. And taking the time, I asked a couple of friends to be a part of the magazine. I asked my friend to be the cover of the magazine. And in doing so, I did that, Messina. But what happened, it blew my mind. I was so focused on the product, and I wanted to develop content for readers or for the next generation to read it, that what I was doing, I compiled mature faces with sound or well experienced voices. And I really wanted to be in place for the millennial, and I was like, why isn't this not pushing? The audience, our seasoned audience, are buying the magazine. What I'm saying is that it was moving, it was selling for something that I just decided to do, but I was still disappointed. Why? I'm like, the millennials are not reading it. I had a friend that assessed it, and he said, well, there you go. The face of the magazine does not call for or match the millennials. So therefore, the face on the magazine is the audience is going to be from a mature audience. And because the weight or the substance, or when I said the content of it was so, and I said heavy or mature, it called for a more mature audience. What am I saying? Take a risk, don't take no for an answer. And I learned something about marketing. I learned something about content. I learned if I have to reach my audience, I have to have the face of my audience. I have to be able to reach my audience with their content. So what I was doing, I was producing out of maturity because that's what I wanted. So it drove another audience. It brought a stream of income. I'm thankful for it. But what I'm saying is that I had to learn something: marketing, networking. I had to learn as analyst, statistics. Where is it being marketed, going to, who is buying it? What I'm saying is that your product that you think that's so little of, and you neglect it, and you don't know how it's going to maneuver, how it's going to expand, how you're going to reach your audience. If you only push through, burst through, and just produce it, then you'll be able to see the potential of what you're carrying. Don't deny what you're carrying, because we could very well be denying what we're carrying, thinking it's a seed form. And as you grow, it become an adolescent, a full-grown adult. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at that point, I'm saying, don't deny what you're carrying. Take it, birth forth. Don't take no for an error, and don't stop. Do not stop.
Yes, yes, yes. So I know, I don't know if you know, my show is Black to Black Talk Show, but my tagline is Bodacious Dreams with Radical Faith. So what is your bodacious dream?
Yeah.
And your faith has led you?
What is my bodacious dream? Well, right now I'm working on one of them. It's called Jim University, and that is a school for thought leaders. And that way we're able to have or draw students globally. I've done schools before, but globally, that will be able to have stimulate their mind, be able to teach and pour into, as well as activate and recalibrate minds. So that's one, to be able to be an educator amongst being a leader globally.
Go there. Okay.
Mm.
Well, I thank you for coming on the show. Coach Jean, do you have any last words? Then we'll give Dr.
Yes, definitely. Maybe she can just, re-emphasize, even though she already explained, very so much. Dr. Lovella, what do you mean when you say leaders leading differently? What do you mean by that?
Leaders who lead differently, which means they're not caught up in the norm of what a leader should be, or that's what leadership stands for. I've done it this way, so you have to do it that way. No, you're called to lead differently. You're called to lead uniquely. You're called to lead the thing about it is, you could very be worried about your skill set, but yet you could very well be worried about your skill set, but under the sound of your voice, just your voice alone will be able to lead a people. And you're thinking, well, how can I lead a people? You went beyond leading a people. Now you're leading a movement, you're leading a nation. How did I do that? Take you for granted. So you're leading differently. The way you think, the way you're wired is altogether different. You think out of the box. Everybody's thinking circle. You're thinking squares. You're thinking circle. Everybody does swimming on upstream. Your wiring is altogether different. That's why you lead differently. You're unique in how you lead.
Yes.
Continue to lead differently.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Lovella, I'll give you the one last word you want to tell the audience.
Okay. My last word is, I would say, to continue to not only be you, but at this point where you're trying to learn, discover you, where you're trying to learn and discover you. And while you're in discovery, you'll find that the dreams that you're trying to, you'll find that the dream, what am I saying? While you're learning you, discovering you, and you're tapping into the potential of you, you'll find that the dreams that you're trying to chase is now chasing you. What will happen when you realize that your dreams are chasing you? I said that to say this because when we're chasing a dreams, we're either trying to put things into place and we're trying to be in the right place, in a syncopated place, and put all this together just to manifest our dreams. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then sometimes we're thinking too small for our big dreams. And so sometimes we have to be realigned and or stripped to be able to handle. Sometimes our capacity is too full. So sometimes we have to empty out some things so we could be able to be open and to be able to maneuver or activate as we navigate the dream that's chasing us.
Okay. Well, thank y'all for coming on. Thank you, Dr. Vella. Thank you, Coach Janine. I enjoyed our time together. I welcome you back anytime you're ready. You want to come back on. You have anything coming up, you can welcome to come back. And y'all have a good morning. Yes, still morning.
Thank you. Thank you.